We're now going to look at adding a forum to your Moodle course. Before we look at adding a forum, I want to talk a bit about the news forum. You'll probably have noticed by now that the news forum is there by default when you get a new course set up. If you think of the news forum more as a bulletin board in that only staff can actually post to it, students can't post and they can't reply to posts. So if you don't try whatever you do to start a discussion, because students won't be able to take part. If you want your students to have a discussion in your Moodle course, you need to set up your own forum. First thing to do to set up your new forum is to go to the front page of your course, turn editing on, go to the topic that you want to add your forum to and click on Add an Activity or Resource. Then from the menu choose Forum and Add. You then need to give your forum a name. And this will be the bit of text on the front page of your course that your student will click on to access the forum. You then need to give your forum a description, basically tell your students what it's for and what you expect them to do with it. Again, you have the option, if you want, this description can be displayed on the front page of your course beside the link to your forum. One of the things that you probably want to do at this stage is there's an option here to expand all, which just expands out all the sections in the edit page. First thing to do, once you've done that, is to choose what type of forum you want. As quite a selection, a simple single discussion is basically where you start the discussion and students can't start their own discussions, but obviously they can take part so they can reply. So that's a single simple discussion. Each person posts one discussion is just where each student has the ability to start a thread of their own choice or a discussion of their own choice. Q&A forum is where you start the discussion by posting a question and students can't see other students reply until they've replied themselves. So if I'm student 100 out of 100 students and 99 have replied, I won't or answered the question, I won't get to see it until I answer the question. Standard forum for general use is the default one, and that's the one that we're going to use today. You also have the standard forum displayed in a blog-like format, which is just the same, it's just got a different layout. You also have other options. You can, if you want, allow students to add attachments to the forum posts and how many attachments they're allowed to add. One of the things you really need to think about is your subscription. Basically, a subscription means if the student receives email when a post is made. You've got various options. Optional subscription means that the student can choose to subscribe, which means every time a post is made to the Moodle forum, they'll receive an email. Forced subscription means that they have no choice, they'll always receive the email. Auto subscription means they'll subscribe to begin with, but if they decide to unsubscribe, they do have that option, and obviously subscription disabled means there's no subscription whatsoever. Although Moodle sends out an email every time a post is made, I would always advise caution that I wouldn't rely on it. If it's something that's really important, I would think of using multiple communication channels and not just rely on the email being sent from Moodle, as students will maintain they didn't get it, things will happen, like it'll get lost, it might end up in their junk folder. So just be careful if you are going to use subscription. At the moment, I'm just going to leave all these settings as default. The last thing I'll talk about is you have the group setting down here. There is an option to set up separate groups in Moodle. For example, if you had 90 students and wanted to set them up to 30 groups of, 3 groups of 30 for tutorial purposes, what you can do is set these up in Moodle and then have the group mode in forum to be separate groups, which just means that each of the 3 groups thinks the forum is just purely for them and they won't get to see what other groups are doing. But you as a member of staff will go in and be able to see everything. You can also have visible groups, which means the groups can see what other groups are doing, that you just can't participate. So if we now save and display our forum, and what you'll notice now is although the forum's set up, we haven't actually added a discussion topic, we haven't started a discussion. And to do this, you just click on this button and start your discussion. And that's how you set up a forum.